talk now about probably the most critical overall of planning methodology called strategic planning. And of course, we already know that's 3 years plus out. Now we're going to talk about tactical planning. Tactical planning is when you take the strategic plan and you break it down into an element so you can start doing the timelines of 1 year to 3 years. And then the operational, where you sit down and start taking those plans and breaking them down to what am I going to do next month. So it is a 1 to 52 week plan. So you have the different planning aspects and you all mesh together. In theory, if life is good, everybody's in harmony with a mission statement, a value statement, a vision statement, your strategic plan, and they're carrying that whole thing down. It really doesn't work that way all the time. People break down sometimes, people don't follow through, people don't watch plans. That's why they have you, because you're the manager. So with that, let's take a look on the aspect of what tactical is. The overview, it involves breaking down the strategic plan into specific short-term actions and plans. That's pretty straightforward. You have to have a specific goal, resource allocation, and just so you know, resource allocation, if you have multiple different divisions, this is probably one of the most difficult aspects of it because people all want to have more money. That's what it comes down to, money. Once upon a time, I worked in the 5-college district, and we meet once a year to have resource allocation aspects of it. We would come with brass knuckles, knives, and guns to the meeting, and we would leave bloody. Well, it wasn't quite that bad, except pretty much you would not leave the meeting without being beat up a little bit by somebody else. Resource allocation is a huge, huge issue in any and every organization, especially when there's multiple different sites all pulling from the same pool of funds. Timelines are also another part of tactical planning, and you want to set specific goals, allocate your resources, develop specific action plans. I mean, get down to the details of we're going to do this on this date, this on this date. By the time we're all done, in the first 6 months of our tactical plan, we should have overall sales increase by 4%. Overall, and the first year at the end, we want to have a total overall end over year 8% increase over sales. And that way, if we start establishing 8% annual increase over 3 years, we'll meet all the objectives of strategic plan to having a 24% market increase. And even if we're off by 4%, we're still right there because the plan itself calls for 20%. Life is good if you can do it. But we'll see. And then you have to watch what you're doing and then adjust it. This is all part of that window of 1 to 3 years where you're working on it. That now you're going to take this tactical planning and then move it down after you sit down and make sure you're focused properly, make sure you're efficient, make sure you're flexible, and who does what, and hold them accountable. Put it in writing as to who's expected to do what. That's a big thing. And now you're going to go back to your divisions and you're going to create your detailed plans for day to day, week to week, and month to month to support the tactical and strategic goals. That's how it works. You got your 3 different types of plans all meshed together, and you're almost taking your strategic plans and then breaking them down into the daily tasks, your standard operating procedures, we call them SOPs, and your performance metrics. Pretty much define your daily task, your monthly task, your weekly task, develop your standard operating procedure, assign who's going to be doing what, and then monitor the performance, and everything will be wonderful and everybody will be happy. Yep. Anyway, so that being said, be consistent, make certain you're uniform in your daily operations, and you know what, as a manager, let me give you a clue. You need to be consistent too. You should be uniform. You should not be somebody that's angry and loud and mouthy on Monday, calm and peaceful on Tuesday, and then totally uncaring on Wednesday. No, people look to managers to be leaders. So pay attention. That's a big part of leadership, of actually being calm in the face of fire, being calm when things are Monday. Okay, things never go right on Monday, but it's up to you because you are setting the standard for expectation of all the employees around you, and you have to live the value that the company says, and you need to treat people with dignity and respect. And if you can't do that, maybe management isn't for you. So be consistent, be efficient. And, to be efficient sometimes, you have to get off your own personal high horse and stop thinking you're fabulous and go listen to people doing the work. A lot of times, I'm telling you, they will come up with some brilliant ideas, and if you listen to them, they can actually put them into place. So that being said, quality control, make certain you have high standards through your standard operating procedures. We'll talk about how to write some of those shortly, and then really track the performance on a day-to-day basis. Strategic planning, 3 years plus, tactical, 1 to 3, operational, less than 1 year, and these should all be based upon really the aspect of strategic planning. And overall, you want to have the whole thing meshing and let everybody know what you're doing. The whole organization needs to know what your strategic plan is, and that way they can always go back and measure it inside their head is what is my part in this, and can I have some input to making my workplace someplace better and to meet all the goals, objectives to be found in the mission statement, the value statement, and also that thing we call the vision statement. Take care.